What I'm going to speak about over the next 20 minutes or so is about this word called perception. But I'm going to take it around, I'm going to play with it. You know why? Because nobody else does. We're going to shake it a little. And so pardon me if sometimes what I say strikes home, hurts a little. If it does, good. If it doesn't, I'm just saying you're not listening. If I were to look at the yin yang as the globe, as the world, and I'd say it's, one half is full of hope, love, peace, I'm just going to say this. It can be a nasty place. It's filled also with cruelty and hatred. And we do that to ourselves. We do that to others. In the process, we create such damage that sometimes we don't want to acknowledge it, but sometimes we're very proud of it. And that process of creating damage can derail lives, can derail careers, can destroy relationships, can topple governments, can bring down presidents. And why is it that perception is so evil? Or why does it even come up in the first place? Let's go to school. When you didn't understand maths, do you remember the feeling? You do, right? When you walked into a class and you saw that teacher, do you remember that feeling? You do, right? Okay, so then we won't need to come to college. We're fine at school. But the problem is this. We don't understand because we fear, but we never take the trouble to do this. What do you think this is? What do you think this is? Connect. Okay. So connect is so critical because if we don't reach out, we'll never know the other side's truth. But we're very conveniently okay with creating their truth for us and others. We're very fine with that. So we fear things. So let's go to the smallest unit that we know for mankind. It's called the family. Have you heard of instances where a parent actually maligns a child's reputation within their own circle? That boy, terrible. And that boy could be 5, he could be 25. That boy, wicked. That girl, very sly thing. Have you experienced this? It could be parent, it could be sibling, or it could be extended family. But somebody is doing it. And maybe you're none of those. So now they've created a perception of you. And everyone looks at you through those lenses. The minute they see you, oh, Miss Sly has walked in. The minute they see you, oh, the wicked boy is here. And no matter what good you do, it's useless. And then sometimes you try too hard. No, that's not me. That's just not who I am. And we try hard to invalidate those perceptions created about us. And we try, and we try, and we try. But, somehow, even in the comics, even in the movies, the bad guys always win. Because you can't be around everyone all the time telling them, I'm the good guy. I'm not that person. So you walk away. Guess what? Window for perception to come in. Window for the people who are there to discredit you. Beautiful opportunity. Finally, one of two things are going to happen. One is that you're going to try your best to change it, or you'll just flip the other way and say, I don't care anymore. I just don't care anymore. And then sometimes you go one step further and say, if that's who you think I am, let me become that person for you. And now you change because of someone else, and you will live in anguish and hate and frustration just to prove someone right. Well, all this time you're trying to prove them wrong. And you change, and your relationships change, and then suddenly one day you say, it's not worth it. So let's call these people toxic people. They're in your houses. They're in your friends' circle. They're in your teams. They're in the government. They're all over. And you might be one of them. Right? So while you're very safely saying, yeah, whoa, that's you. And I'm not talking of momentous, massive, strategic attack to people. I'm just talking of the small things. Small things. So a week ago, I was doing a leadership session with the senior leadership of an automotive giant, global giant. One gentleman said, you know, if a light shines 1,000 times, it becomes the truth. So let me just change it to people. If a perception is believed by many, does it become the truth? Well, it doesn't, but guess what? It becomes their truth. And it becomes your challenge for the rest of your life. So change it around. If the truth is known by just a few or one, does it become a lie? No, it doesn't, but guess what? Hey, numbers count. They're not on your team. The numbers are there. You're standing alone. You're saying, no, I'm going to fight this. They'd say, you and what team? Nobody there. So now you have a choice. Give up. And most of us do. We just don't have the energy. We don't have the strength. We don't care anymore, saying that I don't want to do this anymore. Some of us walk out of relationships. But can you leave your parents? Yeah, I've heard of parents say, I disown you from today. You're not my child. So yeah, go tell that to the doctor and the government. Right? Wow moment. Wow moment. Right? So, how do you then decide to fight something that you no longer can fight? How do you stand up for yourself? Or is it worth it? Should you stand up? It happens everywhere. It happens at work. You have people who create perception about you, and then you're left fighting, right? You have people who malign your name and your every action, and if you're in the corporate career, you'll hit what's known as the glass ceiling. You do a great job. When it comes to appraisal, somehow you're not the person who's promoted. Somehow. Why? Oh no, because I heard, they said, you showed. No, I didn't show, but I saw. How did you see? I didn't show. No, maybe you don't remember I saw. But I saw. My perception is becoming so rock solid. It's now a wall. It's no longer a filter. It's a wall. And I just can't go through. So what do I do? Why in the first place do we have perception? So when they're born, babies already know the difference between like, don't like, good, bad. Try putting something sour in their mouth. What happens? Have you seen a baby, these WhatsApp videos, someone takes a lemon and puts it in the baby's mouth and the baby goes for the next 2 minutes. Why does the baby do that? Why can't you fool the baby into saying, very nice. Baby is clean slate, they don't understand, they don't know, they don't feel. So how is it that sour is sour for them? How is it that pungent is pungent for them? How is it that sweet is sweet for them? And how do they know, I want milk, I don't want mutton? Perception is preloaded. You have that distinction of if a spider comes in. There are some children, there are parents who fear dogs. And there are children who just walk up and hold the dog. Now, we get into the zone called conditioning. We start creating our children in our image. Or our children absorb everything. So if you don't like the auntie next door, Every time you come into the lift, your children will also give them a dirty look. We start conditioning them on what I think is bad, what I think is good, is good. Do what I say. So we condition. Sometimes we condition through positive interaction, positive strokes, saying that, listen, don't do this, it's not good. Oh, I love my dad, I idolize my mom. If they are saying it, I will believe it. Sometimes we punish them into accepting our truth, saying that this is bad, you do this next time, no movie or no dinner or no family. I'll disown you. Right? So you say, okay, safe side, that's my reality. And then we grow up and we come to college. By now, ladies and gentlemen, intelligent beings that we are, our perception becomes conscious or unconscious perception, which means that we will consciously do things to people, or we'll just do them subconsciously because the conditioning has been so solid. Right? So it's okay to discredit someone. If you want to get ahead in life, push the other person down. That's good. If you want to succeed, make sure that there's no competition. Wipe them out. It's all about winning. Is it? Is it all about winning? Best Actor Award. Hey, there are 5 actors. I think they've done a great job. Why should he or she get the award? Somebody said, I think this technical angle seems to have made it right. What about the other 4? So we call them good losers, but we still call them losers. So good, bad, winner, loser, and we're stuck in that. As we go along and we start creating the impression of now I'm in control. And I like the control, the feeling of control, knowing I can destroy someone. We use the most powerful weapon known to man. It's called the tongue. And it comes out. End of you, end of the story. Right? So now we start engaging with people, discrediting them, and doing this. But have we ever thought of what happens to them? Because this is what we're talking about today. That's the elephant. What happens to those people? Have you been on the receiving end? I'm sure you have, at least once in your life. And if it's more, then I empathize with you because I know the hurt. It's terrible to constantly receive somebody's perception. People don't know you. They look at you. It's happened to me. How many of you, show of hands, think I'm a boxer? Just let me see your hands. There you go. So we have this image, and we start writing off people. They are like this. So there are people who will malign you. They will create their impression about you, and it's the truth. What happens to people like this? So first, you get irritated. Why are people doing this? It's irritating. Then it goes on. Now you start getting frustrated. They're doing it again. Then it keeps happening, and now you're saying, they're doing it again, they're still doing it. Now you start getting angry. And then they still do it. And now you just blow into rage. God help you, if someone sees you at that moment, you could be Gandhi. But if they see you in rage, that lungi, that stick, and everything else is out of the window. You're no longer the nice guy. 1 second. So it starts doing things to you. So you fly into rage. Suddenly you say, that's not me, so why am I doing this? Now, the other option is either I engage or I disengage. So I say it's better I disengage. Let go of the toxic people in my life. I'm stepping back. I don't want this. Now people don't see you enough. You're isolated. You're lonely. Because every time you go there, they do this magic of perception and you say, I don't like this, so you step back. When you start getting isolated, you get lonely. When you get lonely, you get depressed. And depression is a killer. And there are so many people who, because of perception, have committed suicide or just let go of their life. And it all probably started with a very innocent, she's a terrible person. And maybe you said it. But you were not there to see the effects of what happened. So the big question is, what can we do about it? I mean, it's a reality. Can we do something about it? Yes, we can. So let's talk about that for a while. Firstly, let's start with stop. Stop doing this to people. Ask yourself, why do you do this? Why do people discredit or malign people? Why do they do that? One is because of their own insecurities. They don't know how to handle it. The best way to do it is to destroy someone. So their own insecurities. The second one is that some people are narcissistic. It's all about them. It's all about power. It's all about my point of view. And you're crap. It doesn't matter. So I'll just treat you like that. So firstly, stop. Ask yourself, why are you doing this? Are you insecure? Fix your insecurity. Don't destroy someone else. Right? The second one is this. We fear what we don't know. So if we know, we'll fear less or we'll stop fearing. So start connecting with people. They're hurting you. Say no to hurt. Let them go. If they follow you, still let them go. If they still follow you, it's time you got into something called caring confrontation. We don't like confrontation. We don't like to address things. We just don't like it. But how about caring confrontation? Listen, I moved, you followed me. I moved, you followed me. I moved, you're still following me. But while you're following me and I'm good, because Mary had a little lamb and all that was fine, you damage me every time you come along. Why do you do that? Can we have that conversation? Why do you keep doing these things to me? And do you understand the extent of the damage that you're causing? Is it possible for you to understand that? So caring confrontation. Talk to people. Have those conversations. Guess what? I'm guessing most of us will not do it. We will just not do it. We don't care anymore. We say, I'd rather not talk to that person than solve it. Because I've tried, I'm fed up. Or, I don't have it in me. So I'd rather live like this than confront people. So please decide, do you want to change it? We were born, we were here for love, peace, and hope.